the healing, through the learning, through the loving, I realized when you get yourself together, you will then attract someone who can take you in as all of the beauty that you are. You know? Because you see yourself as that.
You guys, I am beaming right now because I have Ellie. I have the lovely Ellie next to me, but so, okay, sure, you guys know that she's a boss at what she does. She helps so many people and has been able to pivot drastically in her businesses. But what we appreciate, obviously, is that not only is she about that entrepreneurial life, boss life, she's about that mom life, that girl life. So, like always, we got all that good stuff about who she is and what she does. Now it's time for our girl talk. And in this particular one, we are focusing on life after divorce and being a mom and how things change and show up for you that way. I know this is going to resonate with a lot of you, but more importantly, it's going to be encouraging to a lot of you. So, Ellie, hey boo.
I am so excited to be here today. This is just beautiful.
Thank you.
And you are in purpose right now. I just need you to know that.
Look, I receive.
Like you're in it.
I receive. I'm happy to know that I'm here and happy that I can share this space with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Girl.
Okay, I'm not gonna be a fiend. So what caught my attention as of late is your love story. Now, if anybody was ever watching you 2021,
right?
It was Ellie talking about how we get to this. This is the grants you need to. This is what we doing. And you know you were a mom because you would show how you're a mom getting to this.
Yeah.
I was sucked in like I was watching a TV show with you and your boo, and whose name is
Ibu.
I
know, he is the boo.
That was cute. Yes. That's how you know you're in love, because you make jokes like that. That is so sweet.
I love nicknames. It's just too much.
But what drew me in was the happiness on your face.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you see a person glowing and you're just like, whoa.
You can see it.
How do you bottle that happiness? She's got to tell me the secret. So share the story. And not even, before we get to the story, share what led up to the story.
Yes.
Because I think to understand why I am so happy for you now is to understand where you were before.
Yeah.
So tell us about the before.
Girl, so, I'm divorced.
Yes.
Right? I got divorced in 2020. And
pandemic.
Right before the pandemic, and then it was finalized February of 2020. And so I was in a physically abusive marriage for 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm a mother of 4, and at the time I got the divorce, my twins were 6 months. Whew, so it was just like, I'm breastfeeding, I'm getting divorced, I'm crying, I had to move back home to my mom's house.
Yeah.
I mean, just a complete reset, like starting from the start line.
And how old were you then?
I was 27, or 28, somewhere around here. And it was just a complete start over. And it was so hard and it was so scary. And, when you're coming out of an abusive situation like that, it takes time to make yourself understand that you didn't deserve that.
Ooh.
And to make yourself understand that that is not the end of the sentence, but for so long, you give that person so many chances that you think that is the only person who will ever love you.
Amen to that.
And
honestly, stick a pin right there.
Right?
Because I think as women, when we decide we wanted to commit to a person, into a relationship, anytime it falls apart or the person is making you feel, or you're feeling like they don't appreciate you, value you, your worth is tied into what they envision it is the most damaging thing to your self-esteem coming out of it.
Yeah. And you feel like maybe they're right. And then, because we had children together, I still had to communicate with him, and it's just hard because then all of that keeps getting fed to you. So at the time, I'm also unemployed, trying to figure out what am I going to do to start making some money, applying to jobs, not getting hired. And I just decided, okay, I have to put all of this into starting my business.
Yeah.
Because who's going to take care of these kids? Not him. And I didn't have the means. Who's going to rebuild me up? And I felt like the only thing that could do that was work and just dedicating myself to building something outside of myself.
Where did you learn that? Where did you learn that pulling yourself up by the bootstraps? Who taught you that?
Honestly, I don't know. I think God just talked to me because I pray. I mean, I pray all the time, but I remember really getting extremely close to my faith at that time because I felt like it was all I had.
Yeah.
Just praying and crying. That's what we're doing all day. We're just praying and crying.
Honestly, that's the part where God shows up in your life the most.
Yes.
He needs you. I don't think he needs you broken, but when you are broken and you're seeking him.
Yes, then he can really, and he just told me, he said, you need to dedicate yourself to this.
Yeah.
The same way you would show up for a job every day, show up for your business every day. And, you know, I'm the only entrepreneur in my family, so I didn't know, is this going to work? I didn't really like Instagram, but I decided I just have to use it, you know? So all of that was a huge part of me starting over and rebuilding my sense of self-worth in that regard, but I still didn't have my sense of self-worth with love. You know, I started to make money and that was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
But I was still finding myself crying, thinking maybe I should go back to this man, even with millions in my bank account.
Of course.
And that let me know, okay, there's still work that I need to do on this other side. Because how can I be, you know, working, inspiring people, helping people, and still feel like it's okay to go back to someone who put their hands on me?
Girl.
Because what? Because how?
Yeah.
You know? So a part of what was really instrumental for me leading up to this man that I have now is therapy. I was in therapy for probably about 9 months. And as well, I had to get very intentional about what I wanted my next relationship and my next man and my next life to look like.
Yes.
And I also had to be willing to say no to anything that didn't match what was on that paper. And that's the hard part.
Because I was about to say.
Because men will come.
So how many frogs did you come across before Prince Charming came rapping on that door?
Girl, so many. So many. And you know, when you want love, you see a frog, but you try to put makeup on it to make you think it's a prince.
Yep.
But it's still a frog.
It's still a frog.
And you just be like, dang, I gotta let you go because you are not. So one thing that really helped me, and I remember sitting on a plane one day going to Atlanta to speak, I made like a slideshow in my computer of, you know, the man meant for me. It was the name of it. Girl, so I was on Google getting images that, you know, were representative of the type of love that I wanted. I wrote out a list. I want him to be this. I would love for him to be a man of faith. I would love for him to be an entrepreneur like me. You know, just all the things that really felt like they were in alignment with what I wanted, but also how I wanted to feel with that person. I want to feel safe. I want to feel secure. I want to feel loved. I want him to love my children. I want to feel open. You know, just all the things. And I made that my guidebook. So anytime I met someone, I would go back to that slide. And if it wasn't matching up, as much as I would have wanted to pursue, I just knew like this is not it, you know? And I really had to ask God for a lot of patience at that time.
Patience.
Girl, it's so much. Because it's not easy.
No, it's not.
And nobody likes to be alone.
No one likes to be alone. As a matter of fact, being alone can be very lonely.
Yes.
And on top of that, I want to kind of go back real quick to something you said. Shout outs to you for deciding not to pick people from your place of pain.
Ooh. Chills.
Because to make the list, to become intentional, to say no, meant that you realized your heart is not fully there and I will not allow it to be tampered with any further unless this is who God sent for me.
Exactly.
That's huge.
It's
I just
huge.
got there.
I know.
Like a month ago. Like, I just got there. You know what I mean?
It's a process. It is a process.
Yeah.
And you're so right, because we tend to, and what I realized through therapy and just through continual praying is, as much as it is hard to say, but I attracted that relationship into my life.
100%.
And a lot of the time, I think it's hard for us women to become accountable and to accept that.
Yeah.
But we had a role in it.
Yeah.
Even though, of course, none of us deserve that type of treatment, but we have a role in the pain that we deal with.
100%. It's so interesting you say that, because I had a conversation with a friend about a situationship that I was in, and I said, I take 100% accountability for staying.
Yeah.
And allowing that to go on for as long as it did.
Yeah.
Because as much as it's easy to be like, but he, no,
It's
because you
also
know
the
what?
I.
If I didn't stay there wouldn't be much more tragic stories to tell after the first one.
Exactly.
And I think, wow.
Yes.
This is how you know you're in a different spot.
Yeah.
The accountability of it all, the vulnerability of it all.
Yes.
The patience.
Yes. And so I realized, like, okay, if I know I had a role to play in that relationship, and I know at the time I must have been more insecure, I must have not known enough about myself to attract that, but then to allow it to stay. I need to make sure that I don't have remnants of that in me when I go into choosing this next person. And what I found is, when I look back at, the frogs before we got to the prince, is I was always, attracting people who needed me to, like, feel good about themselves, and it's like, I cannot love you if I'm in a damaged place, and you cannot love me if you're in a damaged place. We cannot be fixing up people.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
We can find you where you are and help you to get to the next place together, but you have to come with a certain level of completion, and so do I.
Yeah. That part.
It's only
it's
right.
really intentional too, because I also realize, because I'm doing the work now.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that God would let any man who isn't doing his work come into my orbit.
Exactly. And you know what I realized? I was praying one night, and I was asking God, like, where is he? When are you going to send him? And I feel like God told me, listen, I have a job to be responsible for you and for him. So I cannot send him to you unless you are ready to also receive him. And are you, listen, I'm praying like, and are you the type of woman that the man you are praying for needs?
Ellie, you just gave me goosebumps. You want to know why? I had that same moment.
See?
That same moment with God.
God be coming.
The same exact moment where it was like, no, okay, I got you, but listen, I need you to do some work. I need you to do some work.
I need you to do some work. And that's when I realized my list, I also had to go and make that list of myself. So I said, okay, I'm going to make a list of what I want in a man. But now that ideal man, what is a list he would make of what he wants in a woman?
Ooh.
And that was when the real work began. Because I had to make that list and be like, am I representative of what's on this list? Some things, yes, but some things, no. And that's when I really had to get to work. I would say that was probably May 2021 that I really
got intentional.
and was like, okay, I need to show up as her for God to feel safe to put him with me. Because I can't be the only one feeling safe. He has to feel safe
Bars.
too. Girl.
Bars,
Girl.
okay?
Girl.
Like,
right? And I think sometimes we don't think about that.
No.
We think about, I want a man who da-da-da-da. And it's like, yes, but remember, God is a fair and equal God.
yeah.
And you want the blessing, but that man also wants the blessing.
Yeah.
So are you the blessing to him?
And he will not give you his child to mishandle.
Exactly.
He won't give you to him or him to you. So
Exactly.
you both need to do the work. So what is Ellie proud of from coming from that situation and that state of mind and mindset to who she is in this current moment, what is she proud of? She'll be like, girl, you did that.
You know, I think I'm really proud of the fact that I never let the pain other people put me through change who I am.
Oh.
I've never been spiteful.
Yeah.
I've never allowed myself to, lash back. Because we can get, I'm from Inglewood.
And you got receipts.
Right.
So I'd be like, listen here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've always remained graceful. I've always kept my integrity. I've always thought about my children and how one day, I just never wanted them to, even now, I won't speak ill about their dad or anyone for that matter. And so I think that's something I'm really proud of. Even though it was so hard, I always thought about, you know what, I could potentially mess up my own chances to have the beautiful life I want if I intentionally go about being negative to someone else.
Yep. I agree.
And I wasn't willing to risk that.
No.
So as hard as it was, I had to think about, but what is the good karma I want to attract?
Yes. Ooh.
So
speaking of good karma, what was the timeline of your boo coming into your life? After, because you said it was May of 21.
Yeah,
that
but I
got
serious.
very intentional. And then because we only in August of 22. So that's like right around when what?
I know. So the way it all happened, right? So I'm gonna tell you a couple things. So May 2021, I'm really serious. I'm making my list, and around June or July 2021, one of my best friends who recently got married in St. Martin was like, hey, I'm getting married, buy your tickets to this hotel, you're a bridesmaid, etc. So I remember when I bought my flight, my hotel room for St. Martin, at that time, I'm very single, like.
As a dollar bill.
Girl, just single. And I remember before I pressed buy on the ticket, I literally said a prayer and I said, God, right now I'm alone. Right now I'm single. I don't know what your plan is, but please, I pray that when I go to this trip, when I am in this hotel room, please allow me to be accompanied by that man. Please bless me with a good man who loves me. Hopefully by then he'll be my fiance. I said, I don't know how you're gonna make it happen, God, because this is in 1 year. But please, I do not want to be alone for this experience, and I feel like I will do the work to make sure I'm ready. Yeah. If you can make sure somebody's in my life at this time. And then I just bought the hotel and bought my ticket, and I just let it sit. And so we're gonna come back to that. So also some of the work that I did in November, December of 2021, I wanted to make sure I didn't go into the new year with any lingering frogs, right? Because sometimes we just keep people on a leash just to be like, you want to hang out? Yep. And I was like, you know what, God? I feel like you are not going to bring me what I need if I still have these potentials on my back and just pulling at me. Yeah. So I'm going to cut them off. And I cut everybody off. I remember sending out several messages like, hi, hello, this isn't going to work. Oh. We don't really need to speak anymore. I mean,
that's right. I know, to clean house.
No, I had to clean house. And I wanted to make sure nobody went into the new year with the thought that I was anything with them, that you could just reach out to me like, no, put a fork in it, period, in the sentence. Please, we don't really have to text.
Yeah. I'm out.
So that I could go into the new year with a fully clear mind, spirit, and plate. Yeah. So that if God put the dessert on the plate, I could eat it.
Yep. I can eat it unapologetically.
Right? I could eat it. So I had to make sure that plate was clean. So we met in January of 2022 on his birthday. Yeah, I know. On his birthday, on a boat. Yeah, in Senegal. Yeah, oh yes. So I was in Senegal at the time. Crazy, right? Because I didn't really make a decision to go to Senegal until just a few months before, and I went with my brothers. And I was like, let's just go. Let's bring in the new year in Africa. And what's funny is too, girl, it's just God. So
it's the detail.
Girl, so the day before I met him, I had met some other guy, right? Fine, wealthy, and I'm like, ooh, maybe this is him. Yeah. But he wasn't about nothing. He was an F-boy.
Yep.
Oh.
Because the distraction comes right before, because God is testing you. Yep, it was the test. Congratulations on passing, because that was the test. It was like, okay, she said she's doing the work. She cleared it up. Let me send something.
Ooh, girl, and he sent him. And I'm like, ooh, this might be it. So when I realized he was an F-boy, that morning, the day of meeting my man, I just was crying. I was like, God, I really thought this was it, but you know what? I'm gonna keep waiting. You see me. I know you see my heart. You know I only want to give someone goodness so that they can give me goodness in return. So I almost got caught up, but I'm still here and I'm waiting. That was the morning of.
Yeah.
So, I clean myself up. Me and my brothers, Rome and Cam, we get ready. We go on this boat. We get on the boat. We're coming back. We almost missed the boat coming back.
I
know. So we almost missed the boat coming back. We went to this little island, and we get on the boat, and we were on the bottom level. And I was like, I don't want to sit down here. So I was like, let's go up to the top. We go up to the top, and we're sitting. And then all of a sudden, I look to my left. This fine chocolate man is smiling at me. And so I start smiling at him. And we're just doing our thing. And so my brother Cam is vlogging everything at the time. So, we're just in essence, and we keep looking at each other. So he gets off the boat first. And I'm like, well, maybe he's married. Because, he's fine. So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised.
I've seen.
I'm like, well, he didn't say anything to me, so maybe he's taken. So he gets off the boat, I get off the boat, but when he's getting off the boat, he turns back and looks at me, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I smile. And so then he steps off to the side and approaches me, and he's like, how are you? What's your name? And I was like, just to talk. He's like, oh, today's my birthday. Can I take you out to dinner?
Today's my birthday. Can I take you out on my birthday?
I said,
okay. Well, strange girl I don't know, but I saw and am smitten with. Okay.
I said, well, happy birthday. And I said, okay, call me later. And he did. So, ladies, if a man is calling you after 24 hours, 48 hours, no. Because he should be calling you after 5. Or at least texting you.
With
or
intention.
Something. Yes, to say, hey, just wanted to say good to meet you. You know what I mean? Even if it's just a quick thing.
Yeah.
So, and that was our first, date. And the crazy thing is we met 3 days before my flight was set to leave. I know. Literally.
This is like a can you guys make this a movie one day?
I know!
Okay.
3 days, so that was our first thing. The next day we went to like this little private beach to do jet skiing. And then we were just, swimming in the water, and he's like a semi-pro swimmer, so he just be swimming in the ocean. Like
in the ocean?
In the ocean. I'm like, well, I'm gonna wait here.
Because this animal.
Right? But so he was showing me how to swim, and it was just like, when you're looking at somebody in their eyes, and you just know something, but you're like, I don't want to be crazy because this is day 2. But it's a calmness. Like I'm not about to be floating in the water with nobody else in the ocean.
Nah.
But I felt like everything was fine. So this is a really funny story, right? So the third night, when it's actually time for us to get on the plane, we were out, me, him, and my friends. And it was getting late. Our flight was like 6 a.m. So it was like 1 a.m. He's like, all right, well, we should get you back so you can get ready. So I'm like, all right, so we all go. And he's like, I'll come up and help you pack. And so, I'm like, you want to help me pack?
Like, I was waiting for this moment.
Yeah,
we're going to bust a move,
Okay, let's see. I'm like, oh, Lord, guys, this is another one. Another one. But, I was staying, we rented a big Airbnb, me and my brother. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just see what he's about because nothing's going to happen because my brothers are here. So, like, I'm good. So at first I told him no. And then I was like, you know what? Just come on up. Girl, we come up. I go to close the door to my room, just for privacy. He was like, oh, no, that's not it. He opens the door, packs all my bags. He's like, what do you want to wear to the airport tomorrow? Sets it on the side, folds it. Girl, put my wig in my bag. Put my U-part wig in my bag. Didn't flinch. Folded everything, zipped it up, let it stand. He was like, all right, you're good to go. Get some rest. Gave me a kiss, was like, I'll call you in the morning, and left. No shenanigans.
Girl, I'm so stuck and he folded the wig.
Folded the wig. And was just like, oh, didn't flinch. Whoa. Even Rome and Cam were like, he that's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't try nothing.
Yeah.
Very respectful.
Yeah.
You know, and just, I felt like that was the first time someone really saw me and my value enough to where they wouldn't try anything out of this world. You know, anything out of pocket. Just literally let me help you.
The safety on your list. The security on your list.
I know. I know. So, and ever since that day, calling me every day, on the phone every day.
Jeez.
Gifts for me, not just gifts for me, but for my kids.
So there.
Yeah.
So that's you and you guys are in this now.
Yeah.
But you have 4 other little people to consider.
I know.
And I know a lot of women think that I got one and the girl, it's looking grim.
No.
How did that
love you and them kids?
Say it again. Say it directly to them.
Somebody will love you and those kids. I'm gonna tell you again. Somebody will love you and those kids. Not and or, not maybe, sometimes if. No, they will love you and those kids. Because what I realize is, when a man really wants you to feel safe, you to feel loved, everything that is around you is an extension of yourself. Especially children that you created.
Yes.
And if he really is a good man and also truly wants to love you, it doesn't matter what you're coming to the table with.
No.
And I remember, because I told him maybe the second day, like, I have 4 children. Because I was like, we getting this off the table.
Yeah.
He was like, wow, that's beautiful. I'm so happy for you. Yeah. First reaction I ever had. He didn't go like, damn.
Yeah, because it's like, how many?
Right.
All right.
I was like, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I don't have kids yet, but I want kids. I mean, just, you know.
Yeah.
And we don't have to feel ashamed of our past. Because it used to be so hard for me to tell people I had that many kids.
Yeah.
But again, through the healing, through the learning, through the loving, I realized when you get yourself together, you will then attract someone who can take you in as all of the beauty that you are. You know? Because you see yourself as that.
Yeah.
And you recognize, yes, I might bring 4 other little humans to the table, but I'm also a very well put together table.
Yes.
And you
Okay.
hello, they're just a compliment.
And what lovely compliments they are.
Yeah.
So how did that introduction go?
So, you know what? It was, so in fact, because of the fact that he's always back and forth between France and Senegal, he's only ever been able to communicate with them via FaceTime and through sending gifts.
Shout out to technology.
I know.
Because sidebar, I just think about how difficult it was for people to communicate. Think about when there was no cell, you had to be in the house.
I know.
Or you would miss.
Oh my God, so hard. So, you know, and with how long it takes to get visas, and I just didn't want to, it's so hot in Senegal, so I'm going to bring them there in December. But they've only been able to communicate with him via FaceTime, but the fact that he's so intentional. So he bought my daughter a phone. He got my daughter a phone. So that he could have his own way to be able to just talk
communicate.
To them. Yeah. So at times he'll just call them or they'll call him, and I think that's really special because I want my kids to feel the same trust and safety that I feel.
Oh.
You know, that's very important. Huge. You have to make your kids feel as good as you feel about that person. If my kids didn't feel that, it wouldn't work. Because I can't compromise that, you know? Yeah. But because they feel so comfortable and secure, and the fact that he's always so intentional about making sure that they have gifts and just, you know, small things that matter to children is so great. So they feel like they've already met him, and
what do they call him?
They call him, well, sometimes they call him Ibu, sometimes they call him Papa Ibu.
Oh!
It's so cute. No, it's so cute.
It is adorable.
Like Papa Bear.
Okay, wait. So, for context, what are the ages?
Yep. So I have 4 kids. 8 is my oldest son, and then Safi is 5, my daughter, and then the twins, Raheem and Rahima, are 3.
Right. So, and he's welcoming. So, That's your immediate family. What is your extended family? Both his and yours feel, and because you're right, when you love someone, the people around them become a part of who they are, and if you love them, you love who they come with.
Yes.
So what's the reception? Because listen, it took me out when you were on this here Instagram talking about, look at the apartment that they built for us.
Girl,
I said,
whole apartment. I still,
I was like, I don't.
And his mom was so, you know, when I got there, she was like, this is your space. Like, we got you. Do you love it? I mean, she was just so warm and inviting.
Is that her only child?
No, he's the middle of 5.
Oh,
yeah. And so he was married before as well. And we both got divorced in 2020. But so he met my dad, and dad loves him. They talk on the phone every week. He met all my family in Senegal. My mom really likes him. His family really likes me. I mean, you know, I think when people see something real and they feel it, and they feel that both people are truly loving of the other, you can't not like that. You know, because parents can always feel things.
They do. They have that.
And they felt it on my ex. I just didn't listen because I was like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Do we ever?
Oh, and I was just, you know, but this one, so different. The reception to him, and even his reception of them, was so different than anything I had ever seen before, especially with my ex. So, you know, I think those are always signs. And I remember praying and saying, God, this time around, I will listen to your messengers, which are friends, family. I will listen, because last time I didn't, and you were sending signs, right? It's so important to involve other people in the process. It doesn't mean you have to introduce that person to everybody right away.
Or everybody's opinion holds the same weight. But some people can see what you can't see because you can't see the forest from the trees when you're in it. But someone else that you really trust who knows you, can really say, I think this is it, or I think this is not it. And we have to be willing to be receptive of that. So if my dad had said, I don't think this is the one, as much as it would have hurt me, I would have had to let it go, because I didn't want to go into anything with the level of unsurety that I did the first time. You know, and that unsure feeling is always a sign. And the thing is, it never goes away. It never goes away. Because you never feel that's the thing about, so I have this saying about trusting the knowing. God gives you a knowing. You will know when this person is right for you or they're not. And you don't have to question it, because God is in you saying yeah or no. Like, girl, is that not the truth though? It's so true. And it doesn't, you don't shake it until you've rid yourself of what he told you to let go. And have walked into it, because the reason why even your disposition, your aura is different, because there's a peace there. It's so true. Having that side settled feels so great. It feels so good. You know, and just it's good for us women to show up for our work and for ourselves, but ultimately we need to just be able to lean back on someone. Can you just say, I just want to fall into you. And I feel like I operate better now as a businesswoman, having that side of me taken care of. Because now I feel like I can dive even further into my purpose, pursue new things, try new things, elevate my strategy, because that side of me is safe. It's taken care of. I don't think we understand how much we have not been protected. And have not had safety and security until you get safety, security, and protection. And then you're like, it's almost like, dang, why did I, what was going on all the other times? That, you know, and it makes me realize that a lot of us, especially Black women, we're in a constant state of like agitation and fear and you know, just discomfort. And because a lot of us don't know what that feels like, especially if we didn't have our dads growing up in the house. Even if we did, when we go out into the world,
for some reason, there's just always not a support of Black women.
Yeah.
You know, a good amount of support for Black women. And it feels so different when you actually feel it for the first time. You know, and you realize this is how we should all feel all the time.
So, since divorce is also a part of this, how did your ex feel? Because the thing is, unlike where when my turn comes, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because we don't have anything to communicate about.
Yeah.
But you have 4 children.
Girl.
That require you to continuously engage with him until.
I know.
So, how does he feel?
So he didn't know until, well, the engagement, right?
That's what listen. When I was hyped earlier, y'all, like she just came in. Okay, I can't. Okay,
I know.
Okay,
we're gonna lead into that, but
and then that's how he found out, girl.
Because you know kids are honest.
Yeah.
Girl, let me tell you.
Oh my.
So you know how Ibu gave my daughter a phone. So they're on the phone with their dad one day.
So they call their daddy on the phone. Okay.
They're on the phone one day playing the phone, and so dad asks, "Well, who got you that phone?" And Safi goes, "Oh yeah, our new stepdad." Even me, I'm in the other room. I jump up like, because I don't talk. You know, I don't talk to him.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I don't know if he follows me. I don't know, but
Yeah.
there would have been no other way for him to know that except through my children, and I just find that to be because it was quiet.
Yeah.
She was like, "Daddy." He was like, "Oh, okay. Oh my God." She was like, "Yeah, mommy's engaged. She's gonna get married, and I'm gonna wear a pretty dress." And I mean, just kids are happy. She was so excited. She was so excited. But I find it funny that it happened that way because when after we got a divorce, he went and found this new girl, married her, got her pregnant very quickly, and he just threw it in my face all the time. "You're gonna be alone forever. I'm already with someone." I mean, and I just took it. I didn't do the nasty. I didn't get ugly. I just took it. It was so hard, but I took it. And so I find it funny that I didn't even have to put it in his face. His children did it for him.
And that, my dear, is karma.
Oh, because hello, I don't even have to. It will come to you via the children that you so just meanly tried to make me feel all these different ways about, you know?
Yeah.
So, yes, girl, she delivered the blow and has been excited about it since.
Ooh.
Telling, "Oh, yes, we talked to Papa Ibu today." I mean, I
He
can't.
must be burning up.
Oh, God.
He has to be burning up.
Oh, I know he is. I know he is. And, I want to give some tea right now.
I know everybody's like, "Go ahead, girl." No, like, that's crazy.
And you know what's funny? They always double back after. Once they realize that you actually are quite desirable, and they always knew that all along because they try to make you think that you weren't.
Yeah.
Here he come texting me talking about, "Oh, what would you say if I told you I was single?" I looked at my phone.
Congratulations.
Yeah, like, what that got to do with me?
Yeah.
I was like, "I really hope y'all make it work for that baby." He was like, "No, it's really over now. So, like, you know, can I call you?"
How dare you think you could spin the block? Not on me.
Girl, the ghetto.
No, you know what? You know what's funny about that? I literally had the most toxic dude I had ever dated in life have the audacity to call me this week and was like, "No, it's the devil." So this weekend was just like, "But you know, you were the only one I really loved." Right?
Oh my, it's a classic line for me.
And I was just like, "Do you know how trash you were? Like, is this a joke?" I said, "In what universe do you think my self-esteem is low enough
to go back
to even
entertain?
You lucky I'm having this conversation with you right now."
Girl, they always, and you know why? Because they see the new.
Yeah.
They see the healing. They see the rejuvenation.
Yeah.
You know, they see it, and now they want a piece.
Keep your crosses over.
Yes, girl, holy water.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Holy water.
No, like, what?
I know.
Not on me.
I know. So I didn't even have to get ugly, nasty. I didn't have to rub it in his face. And I really wasn't going to. I think that was a clear sign of how God will always answer people for you. God will always do it. It might take a little time.
Vengeance is not yours.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's really not. You know, and I let it be done.
Yeah.
I just let it be done.
Ugh.
I just let it be done. So
let's fast forward.
Yes.
To, listen, I'm gonna need, we gonna have to zoom.
We'll do a little zoom.
Because we gonna have to zoom.
It's so pretty.
It is.
And it's pink.
I love how unique it is.
Me too.
And especially because with every ring has a season. Remember that season where it was like everybody had the same.
Oh my God.
Like, there's always a season of a type of ring. Right now, I feel like it's that emerald cut.
Yes, I'm seeing it everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, I like it.
I know.
But I see it everywhere. I appreciate the uniqueness of your ring.
Me too.
Simply because it's so intentional. Again, he is hitting the mark for you because he's getting exactly what you would enjoy.
Without thinking about anything else, but paying attention, knowing I love pink, knowing I want something different, just,
knowing you.
Knowing me.
Knowing you.
So, he proposed in July. So I've been sitting on it for a little bit.
Girl, you better than me. I'd have been like, oh, what?
I know.
Scratching. I'd have been like,
all
what
of it live, like what y'all say?
Yeah. Oh, you're mature. You're mature. Because you gonna know I waited. Okay? I waited.
I know. So when I came to Senegal in July, before I got to the apartment they built, he rented out this whole villa and it was so nice. And so his family decorated it and he walked me in blindfolded. So I'm thinking he's going to do a happy birthday thing because, he missed my birthday.
Yeah.
And so there was this big happy birthday thing. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And then he, moves me over a little bit by the pool. And there's this big sign that says, will you marry me? And just the whole ring and the getting down and oh, girl, I was crying.
Oh, my. So wait. Okay. Wait.
I was crying.
Because how did he know? Did you ever ask, like...
He said to me, he was like, before it all happened, I had a feeling that I knew he wanted me to be his wife because he would say things like, I want to make plans for the future with you. What do you think about getting married? He's like, I know that this is the end of me looking.
Just like that?
Just like that. He was like, I know that I'm not ever gonna look for anybody else. You're applying
pressure, right? Because not every woman who is dating a dude is looking at him like,
excuse me, but did you build an apartment though?
But did you listen? Did you? Because it was on some like Pretty Woman. You know how when he took her, the dresses and everything like that. I just think because it is true.
Yeah.
When you are at a place of being so clear on who you are. You can be clear on what you want.
Yes.
You can be clear on what does work with that or what doesn't.
Yeah.
And so I just appreciate his decisiveness.
So decisive. And I feel like that's another way that we know men really do know what they want because that's their nature. It's their nature to be decisive. We are the ones who are more emotional thinkers. But they are very logic driven. And so I remember, and I asked him like, are you sure? It's been 5 months. Do you really love me like that?
Did y'all hear that? 5 months. Okay.
Do you really love me like that? And he was like, I know you are the last woman I'll ever need. Girl, this is over the phone. I'm just like.
Because I don't even know what did you say?
I don't know what to say.
Wow. I'd be like, oh my God.
I was just like, are you sure?
Yeah.
So, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
But you never quite. And I've never been proposed to because with my ex, it just kind of happened. He was like, I just want to marry you.
You see, even that, where's the intentionality? I'm telling you.
And now in retrospect, I'm like, that was so ghetto.
That was just not it.
But at the moment, you're like, stupid.
No, but I find it interesting because it is going to be different.
Yeah.
When it's not for you, there shouldn't be anything that you hold on to.
Yeah.
But when it is, every moment is detailed.
And it was a sign too. His mom, so his mom is so sweet and we talk often. She texts me, because she lives in France, he goes back and forth, and asks me for my ring size.
His mom.
His mom.
Oh, so she was in it.
So I think because this ring came from France, so I think she might have gone to the store and just did the whole thing. Yeah. So that was like, But I still didn't know, because she could have got me a gift, because I bought her a gift, you know?
So
it was so amazing.
Does he pray with you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's real.
So, we're Muslim, and he's so intentional with his prayers. We have to pray 5 times a day. And, when you're living and just doing things, you forget. It's easy to miss prayers. But he's always like, no, go get your stuff. We need to pray. And so we pray together, and he always tells me, when I used to pray, I would close my hands like this, and he was like, no, you need to open your hands and ask bigger, because God is big, so you need to give him space to bless you. And I remember after us praying together in July, I was sharing how, sometimes I get worried about my business and just stressed about the next level and all these different things. And he was like, Ellie, when God plays music for you, you need to dance. And so what that meant is, when God is blessing you with success, with opportunity, you better dance and
Don't
make that work. And just do everything you can while the music is going, because at that moment you have the favor. At that moment you need to show up. There is not a time to operate in fear. And so it made me completely look at things different, like, wow, look at the way God's been playing music for me these last 2 years.
Ellie.
Look at the way this music has been playing. I am going to dance.
Yes.
I'm going to do everything in my business. I'm going to love and live fully now with this new man.
Yes.
I'm going to and that I think is the best way for us to show gratitude, is to absolutely operate to our fullest extent. No fear. Try everything. Do this. Launch something new. Live fully, truly live.
Yeah.
So...
Because when God's favor is on your life, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You can't even mess up if you try.
No, you can't. You can't.
But with that favor, there's still the gratitude and humility about who your source is and where it comes from. I just think that that's so amazing. So you have a man that loves you, prays for and with you.
Yeah.
How did you know? What did God tell you? Because we know his knowing.
Yes.
What did your knowing feel like?
I think for me, when I really knew, so there was a time where we were together again in March, and it's silly, but I needed a comb because I was wearing my wig at the time. And he didn't really understand, about installing a U part, but I was like, I can't go out until I do my hair.
Yeah.
I really need you to find me the right type of comb that I need. This man searched all throughout downtown Senegal, calling me, is this the one? What does it look like? What, can you send me a picture? And that is such a small thing, but that really made me know that is a person who will put their ego down and search for the smallest thing that you need, just to make sure that you feel okay. Because anyone else, and I know I could just compare it to my ex, would have said, it's fine, just, it's fine, get over it, or just bring me something that I didn't need, But I really knew that this was a person who would want to make sure that I'm always okay, the way that I would want to make sure someone is always okay. And that was a sign that this might be the one, And just you feel safe with someone. Like we all want a man who will do a lot of things for us, pay for things, all of that. That's one thing, but really knowing that you don't have to worry about anything. Not even financial, because that's good. But you don't have to worry about a thing. I don't even have to talk. Like I don't have to make decisions when I'm with him. I don't have to.
I love that.
I can just
nonverbal. You just trust.
I just trust. And so when we talk about, there's all these stigmas about being a submissive woman. Truly, there's nothing wrong with submitting to someone that you know can lead.
Yes.
I don't have to go back and forth with you about anything.
Submission feels great.
Oh, it is the softest experience for a woman. That's where our glow comes from.
That's
I really believe.
Listen, let First of all, I was telling them earlier, I am a nurturer.
Yes.
And if I know somebody has my back, has me,
I'm good.
Man,
I'm good.
Submission is not a bad thing. I would love to have someone that I could submit to, because the thing is, in that submission, you would think that it's a one-way thing, but it's both ways.
It's both ways.
Because he trusts you in the same way that,
And you know that he's never going to take advantage of your submission and your softness.
Yes.
For him, I've realized that the fuel to a man is you trusting and letting him lead. It makes him become a better leader.
Yeah.
But when we want to be a little bit combative or just like, no, this is my thing, it's breaking him down.
Yeah.
You know? And so knowing that I could just be quiet, I felt it's just an unimaginable feeling, because it is the ultimate safety and security. And I think we relate safety and security a lot to money. And money is one thing. But if that person can show you that no matter what, they've got you, the money is just a byproduct. Because that is what dictates a great relationship, is do you have me at all times? Do you have my front, my side, my back, my top, my bottom, right? Because if you have that, anything we create together, anything I bring to the table, anything you bring to the table materially, is just a bonus to the fact that no matter what, even if there's nothing there, you got me, I got you, we can make anything happen. You know? And that is so key.
Ugh.
Girl.
Look, do you see that smile? I can't.
So I want to bring back what we talked about with regard to me praying before when I bought the ticket to St. Martin.
Yes. Talk about it.
Girl, so you know, time is going by and I have this man now. And I really didn't think he was going to be able to go because, you know, getting a visa, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you need a visa to go to St. Martin. It's just very, very complicated. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just try. Let's just try to get you the visa. So we started the process a month in advance. And up until the day of my flight, he still hadn't had the visa yet. So I'm like, you know what? Well, it's okay, God. I mean, he's not with me, but you brought a man in my life. So it's okay. Girl, so I'm at my layover in Atlanta. He calls me and tells me he's at the visa appointment. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm here to see if they're going to give it to me. So I get on my plane. I'm like, well, you'll just have to update me when I land. Gets the visa. Gets on the flight that night. Lands in St. Martin the next day. Shows up at the hotel.
The hotel that you booked.
That I booked.
For the
tears.
Oh, I would have been ugly face.
Oh my God. Tears.
Like, it would have been so ugly.
Because like, it wasn't the fact that he went, I mean, that was he flew for 20 hours to get to St. Martin's, very, very far. But it was just like, you know, it was just like, God. Oh,
yes.
I'm about to cry.
Because you know what it is too? God tested. You trusted.
Yeah.
You let it go.
Yeah.
And you were rewarded.
I mean, just to pray for something and then see it in front of you in that way.
Yeah.
Because I literally remember writing down that view. I'm like, God, I would love to look out at this view with someone.
Yeah. And he was already a fiance by then.
And that's what I'm saying. He was already that's what I said. That's what I said in the prayer. I said, please, if that man
said fiance.
I said fiance.
You manifested that whole moment.
God, that's why I was crying. That's why I was crying, because to me it was just an even further realization of how so real God is.
Yes.
And how so real our words are, and how words match with intention and action change everything.
And how much God has always wanted good for you.
Yeah.
He wants to give you the desires of your heart.
Yeah.
He just cannot give it to you in the timing that you want, but in the timing that's right. And his timing is always the best.
Always the best. And so to the day, you know? I mean, and that's why I was sharing with you at the beginning, like, the patience is so worth it. The waiting is so worth it. It's so hard in those moments when you're in it. But seeing him there and us being there it just made me know it was so worth it to cut off all the frogs. It was so worth it to be alone and just
and doing the work to become intentional, to then be tested and can pass the test, to recognize, so that you
girl.
Listen, if this is not a whole testimony about the waiting season, about faith, about patience, about doing the self-care, the self-love, the self-awareness, the self-work.
Yeah. And it's so, and you know, it's like, we don't want to often, we want to do the work on our businesses, we want to have all these things outside, but you deserve to be whole in yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had to become whole in me to find someone else who was whole in him, right? And then you end up creating something, because it's not you are half and they are half and then you are whole. It's you are whole, they are whole, and then you are just more.
Yeah. Together.
You know? And that, I think, is key. I wanted to be able to find someone who could complement me and I could complement him, but not someone who could fill something in me. Because I don't want you to find any empty holes.
No.
I want the holes to be filled. They might need a little support.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but I want to already
be.
Exactly. I want to already be able to come to you in that way, and I want you to be able to come to me in that way. Because it goes back to what we said earlier. God has a responsibility to make sure both his children are safe.
Yeah. And
he cannot match you with someone that would endanger you, and he cannot match that person with you if you would endanger him.
This is so good. Oh my gosh. Man,
girl.
Ellie, if y'all, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this conversation as much as we did having it.
Yeah.
I hope this has inspired you, because I'm on this seat beaming. Because you know what? Low key, Ellie just told me my man's around the corner.
Oh, like
And so, because I've been doing the work.
Do the work.
So, but yes, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for another amazing conversation. Ellie, you are top tier person, top tier experience, top tier everything. I thank you so much.
Thank you so
Again,
much.
God gave you the promise. Give him the process.
Yeah.
Later, guys.